Beyond ARTV, beyond the reviews, it's time for my first ever concert review. You guys have been asking for these for quite a while, and while I don't attend as many shows as I used to, mainly because it kills my back a lot of the time, and you know, I'm not as young as I used to be, let's be honest. But still, this is one that I definitely wanted to talk about. It's the Monumentour, Fall Out Boy, Paramore, two of my all-time favorite bands, two of my favorite bands since I was 13 years old. Discovered both of them in 2005. And that was Paramore's debut album, and Fall Out Boy were on their sophomore album, sophomore slumper comeback of the year, I should say. And I think that they both blew the roof off of the place. And I might have an unpopular opinion here, but honestly, even though Paramore went on before Fall Out Boy, and even though they were co-headlining, Paramore played first, I thought that Paramore, totally, even more so than Fall Out Boy, just really lit everyone up, got the audience involved. I'm not going to say that Fall Out Boy did a bad job by any means, it's just that I think Paramore kind of stole the show there, and I thought that they did an awesome job. Paramore's set list was pretty diverse, throwing all the way back to things like Pressure from All We Know Is Falling. They picked up a couple of tracks from their second album, Riot. They played things off of every single album, so did Fall Out Boy. But Paramore, they had a part in the show where they slowed things down a little bit. They started playing part 2, The Only Exception, Last Hope. And I'm not going to say that that withdrew from the energy really, because I really liked that they put all of those together. They kind of grouped them together there and just had a more intimate side of the show. But I'm not as big of a fan of Last Hope, and they also played a track called Proof off of the latest album, the self-titled. I would have liked to have substituted in a couple of other tracks, like, I don't know, Ankle Biters, or even some of the interludes. I would have loved to have seen those performed live. I think Hayley's voice sounded amazing live, truly incredible. I knew that I had seen some videos, her performing on Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like that, and I knew that her voice had gotten even stronger, I felt like, through the years, but just did an incredible job. She also did something that was really cool. I thought she brought up a fan on stage and allowed her to sing Misery Business before the breakdown and just finish out the song, and that probably made that girl's entire life. You could see that she was a huge fan, and even though her voice was cracking a little bit up on stage, you know, I don't want to make fun of her. I'm not here to make fun of her. I think that that's awesome when artists do something like that, something that will mean so much to someone for years to come, and that's truly incredible of Hayley Williams to do. Jeremy Davis, their bassist of Paramore, was standing up for the first time at a show in about a week, as Hayley announced. Apparently he was rocking out a little bit too hard, as she said, and he gave himself a hernia, so that sucks. Jeremy had to sit down in a chair. As you can see, he had to sit down a couple of times, take a few breaks there, couldn't stand up the whole show. But props to him for still being there and still rocking out. Taylor York was doing his thing on the guitar. He threw in a few extra things on the guitar. There were a few moments that it wasn't just straight translated from the studio versions of the tracks, so I thought that was really cool. Taylor's a very talented guitarist. They had their touring members with them as well. I really loved the stage setup. Paramore killed it with the stage setup. They had it kind of stacked. The backing members were up on top. Hayley had these ramps that she could run on and off of on the left and right side of the stage, which was awesome. And I love the background, as you can see what it looked like here. And it had different things flashing, like the band name, some lyrics to Ain't It Fun when they performed that. Everything looked great. The incredible performance Paramore put on is definitely, probably, this concert as a whole, really, in my top 3 probably concerts I've ever been to. Avenged Sevenfold still taking the cake from me. On to Fall Out Boy, I thought that they did an awesome job really capturing an awesome stage persona. Over the years they've really perfected that. Pete and Joe running around the stage doing some awesome stuff. The pyrotechnics on My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark Light 'Em Up was incredible. I thought that added a lot to the show. Patrick's vocals were really even more solid than I was expecting. I was expecting after so much touring that they could possibly be a little bit weak and raspy, but really he just knocked it out of the park, I thought, and did a really good job. It's just the fact that some of their, he didn't have as great of a stage performance as I was hoping for. I was hoping for him to be a little bit more lively, but I think he has come out of his shell a little bit more since his solo days and even the old Fall Out Boy days. He's definitely more involved. There wasn't really that much chatter among the bandmates, like there wasn't much banter between them and the audience or back and forth between members or anything like that. There was a part where Pete and Patrick talked for a little bit, and that was cool to see. Haley of Paramore did a better job of talking to the audience and kind of talking and introducing everyone, I think. Andy, obviously, from Fall Out Boy, silent as always, but he had a really cool drum solo, and then he kind of got into a little drum off with Patrick Stump and a little intermission interlude in the show, and I thought that was something that was really cool. I didn't expect that. I didn't really look up videos for this tour or anything because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. Fall Out Boy played everything from Take This to Your Grave to From Under the Cork Tree to a lot of cuts off of Save Rock and Roll. That was something that I had a little bit, Save Rock and Roll I've definitely come around on, but they don't necessarily translate to the best live songs, and even though they do have a nice stage presence, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more diverse set list. There were so many tracks from the new record played: Missing You, Alone Together, My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark, Death Valley, Just One Yesterday. Seriously, they played a lot of songs from the new record, and while those were cool to see, I would have liked to have seen more from like Foley or possibly Infinity on High for sure. I absolutely love that they played Sugar We're Going Down and Dance Dance, the two tracks that got me into the band, so I cannot say that I'm displeased with their set at all. Overall, I had an amazing time at the Monumentour. If it's coming to your city, it's still out right now. They're still on tour. If it's coming to your city and there's still tickets available, definitely check it out. It's something that you're not going to want to miss. Overall, my experience for this was probably, if I had to rate it, I don't know if you can really rate a concert as easily as you can an album, but on a scale of, you don't really want to see that, to, maybe, you know, I might catch that, to, yeah, check it out, to a must go, I would say it's a must go. If you've been to the Monumentour or if you've seen Fall Out Boy or Paramore live in the past, what were your experiences? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to see me do more concert reviews, let me know in the comments as well, and hit the like button on this review. I'm going to see AFI, 30 Seconds to Mars, and, drumroll please, Linkin Park in August, so if you want to see a concert review of that, be sure to let me know. I will see you guys very soon. Keep checking back for more track reviews, music news, and crazy cool things like this right here on Beyond ARTV, Beyond the Reviews.